We need to have an honest, direct, and uncomfortable conversation about what just happened in Indiana's loss to the Golden State Valkyries, because the final score of 88-75 is the least troubling part of what unfolded today. The result is one thing. What the result reveals about the state of this franchise, about the environment surrounding Caitlin Clark, and about the trajectory of this entire situation is something considerably more alarming and considerably more urgent. Let us start with the body language, because it told a story that no box score can fully capture and that every honest observer watching this game could not miss. Has been insufficient against organized opponents with effective offensive systems. The Valkyries appear to represent a specific and recurring competitive problem for this Indiana team. The matchup difficulties have appeared consistently enough across multiple encounters that about the specific personnel and scheme alignment between these two franchises that produces results favoring Golden State with a regularity that demands only the emotional response while erasing the physical provocation that generated it. She then confronted the referee directly and with visible emotion, her in some configuration by some portion of the media ecosystem that has made covering Clark in this specific way a single foul call directed against Clark, while finding appropriate occasions to challenge calls involving other players on the same roster. Everything this season has demanded of her character and her psychological resilience. The training staff dimension of this situation continues to reflects something structural and systemic about how this team is constructed, coached, and supported. Caitlin Clark is producing historically unprecedented statistical benchmarks while operating under a minutes restriction situation, performing at a level that has led serious observers to argue she deserves a starting role and broader commercial recognition. The 4 steals she recorded today represent the kind of active, committed defensive engagement that winning teams require from their contributors. She is fighting every night with competitive energy that reflects her understanding of both the opportunity and the circumstances surrounding this franchise. The season is not finished. The situation is not beyond the reach of meaningful correction. But the window for the organizational decisions that would actually matter to be made and to register before permanent damage is done to the relationship between this franchise and the player who defines its commercial significance is narrowing with each loss, each missed call, each game played under restrictions that prevent Clark from operating at her actual competitive ceiling. The body language today was the body language of a player who has been pushed to an edge that most athletes never reach. The institutional response to that reality needs to match its urgency. Everything else, the framing, the media cycle, the social media reaction, is noise. The signal is in the film, the statistics, the documented patterns, and the face of a player who just wants to play basketball and has found that the environment surrounding that desire is more complicated and more exhausting than anyone should have allowed it to become.